Hi guys, this is chapter 3 of Zane and the Hurricane by Rodman Philbrick. We'll be reading chapter 3, Older Than Dirt. Okay, that's settled. How me and Bandit happened to be in New Orleans when the hurricane hit. The other thing you should probably know is that I'm what they call biracial. Or multiracial, or whatever. White mother, black father. Okay, except if you go back to everybody who came before me, there's way more than two races. There's African and English and Saxon and Celt and Creole and Cherokee. And that's just for starters. I bet there's even some Chinese ancestors if you go back far enough. Turns out, Tracy Jackson has strong opinions on the subject of race and color. Multiracial? Nah, that don't say it. That don't get the true flavor. You a mixed race boy, she says, studying my face and humming to herself, which she does all the time. Yep, you mixed, same as me. Let me explain. My daddy was a light-skinned Negro, called him high yeller in his day. That was an insult. But he did think very high of himself, come to think of it. See, one of my daddy's grandfathers was white and his own mama was a Creole of color, which is part African blood and part French blood, descended by the way of free people of color, a whole class of their own. So you all kinds of mixed together. But it don't matter who my daddy's people. My daddy was colored because African blood made you colored, even if half your ancestor was white. Them was the rules. Them was the law. Sounds complicated, I know, but in the day we all knew what was what and who was who. Hardly nobody says colored now, I point out, in case she doesn't know being so old. I just did, she says and laughs. For your information, colored was a polite word back then. When I was speaking of, when I was a little girl, long time ago. You and me, we got a lot of catching up. All your life and some that came before. Oh my, yes. From the looks of you, your mama got true blonde hair. That about right? I nod. And you got her straight hair mostly, except yours is darker hair. See, hair's what people see first. Folks don't know no better might glance at you and only see the white part on account of your hair. White boy with freckles and thick straight hair and them green eyes. Oh, but I see Gerald in you, too. Yes, I do. Gerald's chin, Gerald's skinny nose, Gerald's freckles. You got the same mischiefy look about you, and that a fact. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Your daddy looking at me from out of your face. Yeah, he do. No doubt. The humming, the it isn't regular humming. It's more like church singing. Hymns. Miss Trissy still sings in the church choir every Sunday, even if it takes her 2 canes to get there. She says she has the voice of a much younger woman. And I'm to go to church with her this coming Sunday so that I can hear for myself. Much younger, she insists, proud. My singing voice so young it still go out dancing on Saturday night. There, I made you smile. When I say Miss Trissy is wicked old, I don't mean she's wicked like a bad person, because she's the opposite of that. I just mean she's really, really old. I asked how old exactly, which apparently is impolite question. She leans in on her canes and gives me a little snort and goes, Exactly it is. I tell you exactly, I'm exactly older than dirt, chilly, and that's all you need to know. And then she softens up and explains how it's bad luck to brag about her age because the good Lord might be listening and have cause to remember she's long past her sell-by date. You don't know what that means, do you, Mr. Young Dupree? I can see by your face you don't. Sell-by date is what they stamp on the carton of milk. Sell by such and such date because after that it go bad. So you've gone bad? I ask, trying to be funny. Oh, you terrible child, she says, but her eyes are smiling. Terrible. Most of me gone bad, and that the truth. Mandy's ears perk up when he hears her voice, especially when she laughs. And he likes it when she scratches his tummy with the tips of her cane. You understand what we speaking of, she says to him. Ears that big, you don't miss a thing. Oh, you a good one, you. Miss Trissy has a story about everything in her little white house. How the rugs in the halls came from Algiers, not the city in Africa, but the neighborhood in New Orleans where her father had a store. And how the glass figurines on her shelves in the dining room came from her mother who collected them. And the bowling trophy on the top of the TV set is from her second husband, Henry, that died 30 years ago. There are lots of framed pictures on the walls and drawers full of loose photographs, most of them really old. She shows me a small, faded snapshot of two boys about my age. They have their arms around each other's shoulders, and they look really happy. They came into my care after their mama passed. This yo daddy, she says, touching one of the boys with her thumb. James was his little brother by less than a year. They both in heaven now. I asked why my father had run away from home. I expect he had his reasons, she said, not meeting my eyes. So his brother would have been my uncle, right? Had he have lived, but he passed before you born. What happened? James got himself killed, like so many other young men. The old woman shaking her head, eyes brimming with tears. Later, child, we talk on that by and by. Fine by me. I was only asking because I thought she expected me to. Got himself killed. Though, hear that and you can't help but wonder if it was an accident. Like happened to my dad. Wouldn't she have said died in an accident? Killed. Sounds like somebody killed him, which makes me wonder how it happened and who did it and like that. But Trissy changed the subject. So your mama got herself a job at the U.S. Post Office. That good? She says, sounding bright and cheerful again. Not a fine thing. My father did too, I tell her. He was delivering mail when he got run over by by the person that hit him. Your mama said, terrible thing, child, terrible. By any chance you like ice cream? There's ice cream in the freeze box. Myself, I love ice cream. That's another thing about the old lady. When she wants to change the subject, she usually mentions ice cream.